Hello and welcome to my first Ask Me Mondays episode. I'm so excited. I got so many questions and I'm so stoked to answer them. But before we dive into your questions, I want you to vote up here because this time I zoomed a bit out that you can see more of the living room if you prefer that, or if you liked it a little bit more zoomed in so that you can see myself closer. And yeah, so vote because I would like to know. And I also never used the voting or the poll function, so this time will be the first time. And yeah, let me know. And I thought about what is a good length for this Q&A because I got so many questions, and if I would answer them all, we would sit here 2 hours. So I thought I do a timer. 20 minutes is a good time, and I want you also to let me know down below if 20 minutes is a good time frame, or longer or shorter. But without further ado, I start the timer, which just started now, and let's go into your questions. Is your family vegan? I really try to turn my family vegan, but they don't really care. I showed them some videos, but they didn't react. Any suggestions? My family is not vegan, but my family, I would say, is vegan curious. So what that means is that my mom is really open to it. She loves to cook vegan when I'm at home. She knows what vegan means and how to cook healthy vegan meals, and she includes a lot of fruits, vegetables, etc. in her day-to-day meals, but she's not completely vegan. Same goes for my brother, and I'm not quite sure for my sister, but I think they're all eating quite healthy, but they're not vegan. And I don't have so much, I don't see them on a day-to-day basis because I live in Berlin and they live in Munich, so it's quite a distance. But they're really open for it, so they accept me. It took a while, but I'm vegan now for over 4 years. And any suggestions? Just lead by example, what I always say, because don't preach, oh, you get so healthy and you look unhealthy. No, transform yourself, because my family, I think they saw I thrive on blends. I'm doing great. I'm full of energy. I got rid of my acne and I'm healthy. I'm not deficient after 4 years. So they accept it and they are open to it because I lead by example, because they see, oh, okay, he thrives, and I give them recommendations, which books to read, and they say, oh, there are actually a lot of benefits to a blend-based diet. So lead by example. Inform yourself that you can answer their questions, because often they come with so many stereotypes and all the science, all the arguments are on your side. You just need to inform yourself about them so you can respond in a polite way. Just lead by example, respond politely, debunk all these stereotypes they're coming with, and give them good sources. Like they have a question, oh, actually watch this talk by Dr. Michael Greger, and sit down with them and watch it together. Like now we watch Conspiracy, and yeah. But if they're open, don't force them into it. If they're not interested, fine. Focus on yourself. That is the best you can do. Focus on yourself to transform your health and just have this radiating happiness and energy. And they're like, and that attracts people. I wear these vegan shirts all the time with different slogans like plant-based athlete, and they come to me, whoa, are you plant-based? Oh, nice. And oh yeah, I try to reduce. Do you have any tips? And then I give them great input because, you know, I lead by example, and I recommend the same for you. Are dried dates as healthy as fresh? I cannot find fresh ones in Latvia, but we have tried. Yes, dried dates are as healthy as fresh ones. When you try them, you just strip away the water, so they are dried and last longer, and they're as healthy. They're even nutrition denser, because the nutrition is more dense because the water is stripped away, but also higher in calories, so you can easier overeat on them. On normal fruits you can't overeat because they're mostly water, but on dried fruits you can overeat because the nutrients and the calories are denser, but they're super healthy, and the nutrition value is the same. So you get all the micronutrients, the fiber, the phytonutrients. So I also only eat dried dates because in Germany it's the same. We hardly can find them fresh, and I love them dried. I don't know what vegans would do without dried dates, because they make every meal sweet in a healthy way, because dried dates are loaded with minerals, for example. So they're super healthy, and I would recommend eating every day at least 3 dates, but don't eat too many of them, because then you occupy a lot of calories, but you also need to get a lot of other stuff in. So 3 dates every day, I eat about 3 to 9 dates every day, and they just make all meals sweet in a healthy way. Next question. You are always so positive, but I'm sure bad thoughts sometimes trying to get into your mind. How to overcome them? By the way, great video. Thank you a lot for your information, and what I love about your channel that you staying so real. It's so rare on those days. Your camera just stopped recording automatically. Why do you do that, camera? But I was just about to say thank you so much for your great comment and for your nice, kind words. Yes, I'm super real because everyone said it. Yo, I'm so real, but I'm just authentically real. I'm just who I am 100%. I don't have any secrets or try to hide something, because I realized that in the past I tried it, like, oh, I make my lifestyle look perfect and I don't show a picture where I have some pimples or some spots and I always have to flex and look on point. No, fuck that. I show my real self, so it takes all the pressure off. I can show my lifestyle 24/7. I can do a live stream now for the next 24 hours because I have nothing to hide. I have no secrets, or I'm not allowed to say that and I pretend to be this. No, I can just be myself, take all the pressure off, and that allows me to produce so much content, just being who I am, and takes all the pressure away because I don't have to look perfect. I can just turn on the camera. It doesn't matter if I have some spots, it's just me. It doesn't matter if I look weak in this picture, it's just me, who I am right now, embracing myself, loving myself, and that takes, as I said, all the pressure off, and I can accept and love myself how and who I am, and I recommend that to everyone. Don't try to pretend to be someone who you are not, because then you have so much pressure. And the great thing about this, being who you truly are, is that it's like a filter, because you filter out all the people that truly don't like you, because you are who you are, your true natural self, and you attract all the people who truly like you. Because if you watch me and if you like me, there's a big chance, like 99.99%, that I like you too, because that is truly me, what you're seeing. And if you like that, then there's a big chance that I like you too. So I love this natural filter of, you get it. Thanks for this great question, but I think I didn't even answer it, because the first question was, but I'm sure bad thoughts sometimes trying to get into your mind, how to overcome them. Yes, and I highly recommend you this video, which I linked down below. This video got really deep, so be prepared for that. The video is called Why Am I So Happy? Is It All Fake? And Why I Believe in Extraterrestrials. And to answer these questions, 2 laws I use how to overcome that. Law number 1, everything is fundamentally neutral. Nothing has a built-in meaning. So everything that comes to me, it's no good, no bad, no anything. It's what I make out of it. And here, I love this quote. I think it's from some samurai. It's something like, for an ordinary person, everything is a blessing or curse. But for the warrior, they're only challenges. And that is how I think. For me, everything that comes to me, it's all challenges. I embrace them because I know there is no built-in meaning. And if something appears to be bad, I don't make it something bad. I make a challenge out of it. So I don't have any bad situations. I experience the feeling of frustration sometimes. Like if social media is buggy, my post isn't posting, then I have frustration. But I don't make, oh, it's so bad, it's so annoying. No, it's a challenge. How can I upload it? How can I prevent it from happening the next time? So it's a challenge because I know what it feels like when I make something bad out of it. It sucks. It feels so bad. And then it has this downhill spine, like, oh, why does it happen to me all the time? And it doesn't lead to a state of being I enjoy. So I don't allow it in my reality. Simple as that. You are in charge of that. And I have this of frustration immediately, and then how can I solve it, but in a positive way. And for me, nothing is, oh, it's bad. No, it's a challenge and I embrace it. So law number 1, everything is fundamentally neutral. What you make out of it. So decide what serves you. Law number 2, what you put out is what you get back. Because then if you respond like, oh, this is something negative, and you get this negative state of mind, you put it out, then you get this back. Then the people around you that see, oh, he's negative, and you get this annoying, this negativity, you get it back. And I don't like this. I love positivity in my life. So when you look into a mirror, you can't force the mirror to smile. You have to smile first. What you put out is what you get back. So this maybe sounds like some spiritual nonsense, but I use this law every day, and people all around me, they're so friendly and loving because I put it out. I smile, they smile back. I send out positivity and love, and I get it back. I live in total abundance, and I live in abundance. So what you get out is what you get back. That's the universal law. Next question. Thank you. Yes. Is there such things as too much fruit? No, there is not. You can eat all the fruits you want, and you will for sure probably lose weight at the beginning. If you're a bit overweight, you will lose weight and reach your natural weight, because fruits are mostly water. We're talking about 80, 90, 95% water. They're mostly water. They have so much volume and so little calories, and those calories are so loaded with nutrients, with micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, nutrients that are bound to the fiber, phytonutrients, everything you need. So indulge in fruits. Actually, the biggest study ever made on human mankind, on the risk factors for disease about diet was not eating enough fruits. That is the biggest risk factor, not eating enough fruits. It's called the Global Burden of Disease study, funded by Bill Gates. So not by anyone who's vegan and has some interest. No, the biggest risk factor is not eating enough fruits. So eat more fruits. So it's actually more important than, for example, not eating the meat is not as a big impact as eating more fruits. So eating more fruits is for paramount importance for your health. So eat fruits every day. I recommend eating berries every day because berries are the healthiest fruit. So have a serving of berries every day. I have always a couple frozen berry bags in the freezer. I put them in my ice cream. I put them in a smoothie. I put them in my porridge. I put them in my oatmeal. I put them porridge and oatmeal. It's kind of the same. So, and other fruits you enjoy, there's such a big variety, and there is not such thing as too much fruit. There was a study, they tried it. How much is too much fruit? They gave them 20 servings of fruits every day, and they were stuffing their faces with fruits. No negative outcomes, only positive outcomes. For example, their LDL cholesterol, their bad cholesterol dropped and got better, and there were only positive outcomes. Their digestion got better because they got more fiber, and they got more hydrated because they got more water. So only benefits. So the more fruits you eat, the healthier you get. Next question. Thoughts on taking probiotic tablets? Not needed, mostly because check out my last podcast, Vegans podcast, because I talk about their in depth, and I won't go into it now because then this episode is already over. But check it out. In short, you mostly don't need probiotics because probiotics is your healthy gut bacteria, and your gut bacteria is working unless you have some symptoms like like constant diarrhea or constant bloatings. Then you need to rebuild your good gut bacteria by taking probiotics, but most people already have them. But we need to feed them by eating fiber-rich foods, which are prebiotics, are they called. It's just fiber, which only contains in plant foods, and no fiber is found in animal foods, so you need to feed them. And you have trillions of them. It's like you're having trillions of pets. You won't come home from work and don't feed your dog, no. And you shouldn't come home from work and not feed your good gut bacteria. So you should eat fiber, you should eat plant foods to keep them alive, because there's no point in taking probiotics to have new good gut bacteria, but then they die off if you don't feed them. So you mostly already have them, and so you should keep feeding them by eating fiber-rich foods, which are contained in basically all whole plant foods. So unless you had chemotherapy or you took a lot of antibiotics, then you kill off your good gut bacteria, and then it makes sense to supplement for a while to rebuild it. But if you hadn't a chemotherapy or took a lot of antibiotics, then your gut bacteria is doing their job and you just need to feed them. So mostly no need, but much more information how you can test it if your probiotics are actually alive and working. Check out the podcast if you're interested in that. Is spirulina a good source for iodine? No, because spirulina and chlorella contain 0 iodine, because I think they're blue-green algae which don't contain any iodine, so no. Other algae or sea vegetables are great sources like nori, which you know from sushi, wakame or dulse. So these are super high in iodine. Just found your channel, really enjoying it. Thank you. You've made some impressive gains. Got any tips for building muscles? Do you primarily focus on progressing the big compound movements? How much protein do you think is optimal? Thank you so much. Yes, I gained over 20 kilograms of solid muscle mass on a plant-based diet without eating any animal products. And now what was your question? Got any tips for building muscle? So many tips, because most people I see waste their time in the gym. And that's why I write my ebook right now, and it's so soon out, the Vegan's training guide. It's a training guide, and I wrote it all down that you understand the fundamentals, the intensity, the frequency, the volume, how to make progression, all these fundamental principles, how to put them in your training plan and how to structure your training, how to cycle your training. And I have really good training plans in there, and which I teach you how to customize it for your needs. So stay tuned for that. Do you primarily focus on progressing in big combo? Yes. So in really short, I don't give it justice, the answer for this question, but that's why I have my training guide. But really short, yes, focus on progression over time, because we're living here on Earth. We have a certain kind of gravity. We grew up getting stronger and adjusting, but at the age of 14, we are well adjusted. We don't get stronger anymore unless we have a heavier physical load, like a heavier gravity, which pulls us down, and thus we grow. So we need to progress in the compound movements. Easier said than done. That's why I have my training guide, where I teach you how to make progression, how to cycle your training, because we can't make linear progression year round. It's just impossible, because we're not machines. We have so many fluctuations, like how we feel, and also outside factors which we can't optimize, like how the weather is, bad news and stuff. So stay tuned for the guide. And how much protein you think is optimal? Stay tuned for the video on Friday, my next video on my shred series, where I talk about protein. Because in my last video about my shred, I didn't talk about protein because there was so much to talk about and I didn't talk about protein. Stay tuned. But the answer in short is, you need way less protein than you think. Most people out there are proteinaholics. They're so brainwashed by the supplement industry and the animal agriculture industry, because animal products are mostly protein. So you need your protein for da-da-da-da-da-da. No, they just want to make money, and too much protein is not healthy, and if it's animal protein, then it's unhealthy. So stop this being crazy about protein. You need really little, but stay tuned for the video on Friday. Next question. Sorry for our annoying... Tanja, willst du kurz ausdrücken? Auf die Waschmaschine einmal drücken, damit die nicht mehr solche Geräusche macht. Next question. What do you know about fluoride? Should you avoid it in toothpaste? I'm confused because my dentist recommended it. So, fluoride, I haven't seen any studies. There is a lot of spiritual talk about it, and I got a bit away from that, because I'm more now, show me the studies, show me the science before I believe in something. And the spiritual many people claim that fluoride, if you eat fluoride, then your pineal gland, which we also call our third eye, it's actually a thing in our head, it's called the pineal gland, you can look it up, and if you drink something or eat something with fluoride, it gets blocked, and you can become so much awakened. I didn't see any studies about that. But fluoride, it's still unsure if it's an essential nutrient. We think it's not an essential nutrient, but it occurs naturally in foods. So I think, and that is the best amount. We need only traces. But because we have so much fluoride in our world, we just put it in the water and everything, and that is I'm sure not healthy. So I have a fluoride-free toothpaste because I don't want to have too much fluoride, because I don't know about the bad outcomes. And to be honest, the spiritual side, it scared me because of all the things they said about what fluoride does, but I haven't seen any studies really testing it. And so I just don't know. And I just can tell you, you don't need it. And the healthy amount that is maybe essential you get by just eating food, but everything above that, you don't need it. So why take the risk? I wouldn't, by just not taking toothpaste with fluoride in it and just not supplementing or whatever people think. But yeah, I haven't seen much research about it. Next question. Do you count calories, macros, or just intuitively eat? Check out my last video about my shred, where I tell you everything in details that I track intuitively, but I recommend everyone to track for a while, like a month, to get a good feeling for calories and macronutrients, but then you can easily do it intuitively, and that's how I do it. And if you want much more information on that, please read my ebook, because I wrote it down in epic details. Oh no, guys, it's so much fun, and now it's over, and there's so many more questions left, but let me know down below if 20 minutes is a great time format, and if I should zoom in next time, or if you like the broad overview. And yeah, how did you like this Q&A, and your questions for the next Q&A down below. I will continue with the couple of questions I have left, and then under this video I will answer them all. So keep asking away. It was so much fun for me. Thanks for watching, and I see you next time. Peace out.